Zara floated inside her spaceship, her smooth emerald skin glowing softly in the cabin's gentle light. The vessel hummed around her, filled with anticipation as it soared through the cosmos. She was en route to Earth, a planet rich in life and complexity. The excitement mingled with a hint of apprehension, making her heart race. As Zara peered out the viewport, the surface of Earth came into view, speckled with vibrant greens and blues, the colors swirling together in a magnificent dance. Zara had always yearned to explore this planet, a place where the inhabitants thrived on emotions and experiences starkly different from her own energy-based existence on Eloria. When the ship landed and the doors opened, the rush of warm air filled her senses, contrasting sharply with the chill of her extraterrestrial home. She hesitated for a moment, her heart pounding as she stepped out onto the solid ground. Humans bustled around her, their laughter and chatter creating a symphony of excitement. Zara felt a jolt of nervous energy ripple through her. A crowd had gathered to welcome the Elorian delegation, and among them stood Jake, a tall, handsome human with messy brown hair and hazel eyes that sparkled with curiosity. He held a sign with her name, albeit slightly misspelled, which instantly put her at ease. "Welcome to Earth, Zara. I'm Jake," he said, his voice filled with enthusiasm. "Zara," she repeated, experimenting with the phonetics. Though her voice was melodic and distinctly different, Jake's radiant smile ignited a spark of warmth within her. Without further hesitation, he grabbed her hand and led her through the chaotic throng of people. The festival unfolded before them, filled with vibrant colors, tantalizing smells, and breathtaking music. Zara's senses were overwhelmed, and for a moment she felt adrift in a world entirely unique to her. "Get ready to experience Earth culture," Jake exclaimed as he guided her to the heart of the celebration. As they ventured deeper into the festival, Zara gazed around, absorbing everything. Couples danced closely, their bodies moving in sync, while others laughed and shared moments of intimacy. The atmosphere crackled with joy and warmth, and for the first time Zara allowed herself to feel the excitement bubbling up within her. "What is the purpose of being so close?" she asked Jake, her brow furrowing as she observed couples swaying and leaning into one another. "It's a way to express love and connection," he explained, glancing toward her with a grin. "Dancing is about enjoying the moment and creating bonds." Nervousness fluttered in Zara's stomach. "So, this is how you bond?" she said, her voice laced with confusion. She was still trying to comprehend the nuances of human relationships. "Exactly. It's about connecting physically and emotionally," he said with an encouraging smile. Zara attempted to process his words, feeling unsettled by the idea of physical intimacy, not because it didn't resonate, but because it was so foreign to her. In Eloria, connections were crafted through light and energy, emotions shared without bodily entanglement. As they reached a booth filled with tantalizing treats, Jake picked up 2 colorful sweet rolls. "Here, try this," he insisted, watching her closely, hoping to see her delight. Carefully, Zara took a bite. The flavor exploded in her mouth, sweet, soft, and utterly delightful. "This is indeed delicious," she exclaimed, the joy she felt evident in her vibrant smile. "Food is an essential part of the experience here," Jake said, pleased to see her enjoying it. Amid the festival's joy, Zara couldn't shake the curiosity brewing within her about how to interpret human emotions. It fascinated her yet filled her with uncertainties. While she reveled in the pleasure of the atmosphere, the undercurrent of fear whispered warnings in her mind, an internal battle raging concerning the bridge between physicality and emotional connections. As Zara and Jake ventured deeper into the festival, she found herself captivated by the vibrant culture. They danced, shared stories, and laughed, but a question lingered. How would she reconcile this newfound complexity of intimacy with her intrinsic understanding of emotion? The festival rolled on, and Zara continued to feel the intoxicating energy of human interactions. Every corner revealed laughter, joy, and the dance of couples embracing one another beneath a canopy of twinkling lights. Vibrant streamers hung above, carrying whispers of excitement through the warm evening air. "Let's join in," Jake said, pulling her toward the dance floor, his enthusiasm reigniting the butterflies in her stomach. Zara hesitated, but eventually followed suit, stepping onto the bustling stage, bustling with celebratory rhythm. Jake started to sway to the beat, urging Zara to do the same. She watched him for a moment, trying to decipher the motions. With each twirl and step, he embodied joy, inviting her to join him. Taking a deep breath, she surrendered to the music. As they began to dance, Zara felt awkward at first, her movements slightly hesitant and stiff. Yet Jake's laughter was contagious, allowing her to loosen up. The connection blossomed with each passing moment, transforming unsteady steps into a graceful synergy between them. Feel the rhythm, let it guide you, he encouraged, spinning her around as warmth enveloped them. Zara became entranced by the shared energy, the joyous atmosphere corralling her anxieties. She let herself be swept away in the moment, allowing the music to flow through her. Her emerald skin shimmered under the lights, casting glimmers of color that caught the attention of nearby dancers. "See? It's not so bad," Jake said, grinning widely as they moved together. They twirled under the stars, a cacophony of laughter ringing out as they immersed themselves in the sensations around them. Zara allowed herself to feel a connection growing, yet questions about physicality lurked in the back of her mind. As the night slipped deeper into shades of blue and purple, Zara noticed couples exchanging kisses, their smiles illuminating the night. "What do those gestures mean?" she asked Jake, unable to comprehend the depth of their interactions. "Those are expressions of love and affection," he responded, glancing at the couples. "Kissing involves coming together in an intimate way, pushing feelings of closeness and connection." "But what if it becomes too much?" Zara questioned, her heartbeat quickening. "What if it becomes a burden to connect like that? It feels so overwhelming." Jake paused, sensing the vulnerability in her words. "It can feel overwhelming, but it's also about trust. You have to believe in each other. Physical connection may be different from what you're used to, but it can be beautiful and meaningful." Zara's heart raced as she processed this. Trust? That was something she found critical yet profoundly complex. On Aloria, trust resonated through energy, seamlessly interwoven with emotional experiences. Physical intimacy, however, felt like venturing into uncharted territory. "So, physical connection is a leap of faith?" she asked softly. "Exactly," he replied. "But it's also a powerful way to express love. You don't have to rush into it. It's about building a bond first, one step at a time." The rhythm of laughter and joy around her drowned out her hesitations, yet her mind continued to whirl with questions. How could they merge worlds, where she thrived on emotional resonance while he sought physical closeness? Could they truly bridge that gap and cultivate understanding? As the night wore on, Zara watched couples dance and mingle, feeling envious and curious. She wondered if she would ever find a way to express warmth without fear, to embrace the vulnerability that came with a physical connection. Their evening continued, filled with laughter and exploration of foods, cultures, and the warmth of newfound attachments. Encouraged by Jake, she allowed herself to embrace the night. But deep down, a question lingered. How could she reconcile her fear of physical intimacy with the beautiful energy that flowed between them? As the days turned into weeks, the exhilarating thrill of the festival began to give way to deeper introspection for Zara. While her friendship with Jake blossomed, questions started to loom like storm clouds, darkening her thoughts. The complexity of human relationships weighed heavily on her heart. She felt increasingly compelled to understand a phenomenon she had avoided discussing. One evening, under a shimmering blanket of stars, Zara glanced at the twinkling heavens before turning to Jake, feeling a sense of urgency. "Jake, can we talk about reproduction?" Jake's face morphed into a surprised expression, and he chuckled nervously. "Reproduction? Well, that's a complex subject." "I want to understand, really," Zara insisted. Her eyes locked onto his as she searched for the courage to broach the topic. "Well, humans reproduce through physical intimacy. It's when two people come together to create new life," he explained, his voice serious and careful. "It's an important part of our emotional bond." Zara blinked, taken aback by the bluntness of his response. "You mean merging bodies?" "Sort of," Jake confirmed, his cheeks flushing slightly. "It sounds daunting, I know, but many people find it beautiful. The act deepens emotional closeness. Zara's heart raced, her thoughts spiraling. This sounds overwhelming and complicated. How can it be associated with love when it seems so messy? Jake hesitated, concerned by the intensity of her reaction. It can be complicated, but it's based on trust and deep connection. Physical intimacy is often a part of expressing that trust. But how do you separate love from the physical act? She pressed, confusion lacing her words. In Eloria, we fuse emotions through energetic resonance. It's a completely different experience. Jake observed her closely as she wrestled with her emotions. It's not always easy, but the emotional aspect often enhances the physical connection. It's part of a puzzle made whole by trust. Trust seems like a fragile thing, Zara murmured, the weight of her thoughts plunging her deeper into uncertainty. What if trust erodes? What if I can't handle such vulnerability? Vulnerability is part of any relationship, he reassured her. We can take this slow. You don't have to feel pressured into anything. We can navigate this together. Zara looked down, her heart heavy with conflicting emotions. As much as she wanted to forge a connection grounded in understanding, fear clung to her. But it's hard to embrace something so foreign. I fear losing myself or getting hurt in the process. Jake's unwavering gaze stirred a sense of safety within her. You will never lose yourself with me. I respect your pace. Your comfort comes first. In that moment, Zara felt a flicker of hope. She could feel the intense connection they shared, the possibility of forging something beautiful together. But the very nature of physical intimacy continued to loom over her, an unresolved question tugging at her heart. As they veered into silence, the weight of their conversation lingered, filling the air with unsaid words. Zara contemplated the uncertainty ahead, wondering how she could bridge the divide between the warmth of emotional resonance and the complexity of human physical relationships. Days passed, and tension grew between Zara and Jake. The undercurrents of their previous conversation tugged at their interactions. Each time they spent together was filled with unspoken words and lingering questions, the chemistry between them pulsing like electricity. One bright afternoon, amidst the lush beauty of a nearby park, Zach felt a twinge of determination rise within. Let's take a break from our worries, she suggested, hopeful for an opportunity to reconnect without the weight of their conversation looming overhead. Sounds like a plan, Jake responded, a hopeful smile illuminating his features. As they wandered deeper into the park, surrounded by blooming flowers and gentle breezes, Zara felt the familiar warmth of their camaraderie return. She pointed to a couple nearby, playfully tossing a frisbee. Look at them. They share laughter and joy. They seem so carefree. That's the essence of human connection, Jake grinned. It's about enjoying each other's company, whatever form that takes. Let's create some memories ourselves. Encouraged by his enthusiasm, Zara proposed a fun game. They challenged each other to jump higher, run faster, and share laughter in a whimsical competition. Despite the heavy conversations that had weighed on her heart, Zara felt her spirit brighten, moments of joy building back up again. As the sun slipped lower in the sky, glowing warmth draped around them, Zara turned to Jake. You know, I love this, she confessed, her voice light and genuine. This connection brings me happiness. I do too, he said, the sincerity in his tone drawing her closer. I want to cherish each moment we share, establishing a bond that feels right for both of us. Feeling a wave of hope washing over her, Zara took a deep breath. Maybe we can explore our connection without the pressure of understanding physical intimacy for a while. I'd love that, Jake said, elation lighting up his expression. Let's find ways to appreciate each other both emotionally and perhaps physically, but at your pace. Over the next few days, they engaged in various activities, dancing under the stars, cooking meals together, and diving into cultural stories from both their worlds. They weaved laughter and warmth into their days, an unspoken bond forming stronger with every shared moment. Yet as the sun set on their days filled with merriment, Zara could feel her heart tethered to the lingering questions about intimacy. The shadows of doubt continued to cloud her, pulling her down unexpectedly as she wrestled between her reality and the rich dynamics swirling around her. One evening, as they found themselves back in the park, Jake looked at her with genuine curiosity. Are you happy? he inquired, his tone soft yet probing. I am, she answered, her lips curving into a smile. But I want to figure this all out. How do we blend our worlds without losing what makes us, us? The journey we're on together is beautiful, Zara, he replied, placing his hand gently over hers. Trust takes time, but I believe we can make it worthwhile to explore both sides. For a moment, their fingers intertwined, sharing warmth as their connection surged. There was no need to rush into physical intimacy. The emotion behind their gestures felt just as powerful. Slowly, the shadows began to lift at the possibility of forging a connection without boundaries. The days progressed without incident, yet the specter of intimacy loomed, a wordless tension heavy in the air. Zara felt a growing unease regarding her conversations with Jake. The lines between friendship and romance became increasingly blurred. In the evenings, she would lie awake, contemplating how to navigate this delicate path. Finally, one evening, the soft light of the stars twinkled above them as they sat close together on a park bench, the night wrapping around them like a blanket. Zara found herself growing anxious again, feeling the need to address the wavering silence in the air. Jake, she began, her voice trembling, I can feel this connection deepening, and I'm afraid. Afraid? He questioned, concern etched across his forehead. What do you mean? I feel this urge to connect further, but the fear of physical intimacy is paralyzing me, Zara admitted, her chest tightening with vulnerability. It terrifies me. What if it brings destruction? Jake turned toward her, his expression sincere. Zara, intimacy can evolve in many ways. It doesn't have to be a threat. It can be a way to share connection and understanding. But how can I trust in something that feels so different? The physical aspect feels daunting, she confessed, tears welling in her eyes. What if we lose our foundation? His heart ached as he saw her distress. You won't lose anything with me, I promise. I'll never push you into something you're not ready for. We can take it slow. Zara felt the tension knot further in her stomach. She wanted to believe him, but the fear still clawed at her thoughts. It just feels like we're teetering on the edge of something new, and I can't help but wonder if I'm ready to leap. Just tell me what you need, Jake urged gently. We can explore our connection without physical intimacy for now, if that's what you prefer. I want my essence to blend with yours in a way that feels right. But I don't know how to embrace the physical aspect, Zara said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. I understand, Zara, he replied, the warmth in his voice soothing her fears but unable to erase them entirely. We can continue building our emotional bond, learning to trust each other completely. Maybe it's better if we take a step back, Zara proposed, an idea solidifying in her mind. I need time to process how all of this feels. Jake's expression shifted, disappointment flickering over his features. If that's what you need, I'll respect it, but know that I care, and I'm here for you. As she withdrew, a chasm began to expand between them, an emotional distancing that felt heavy and inevitable. The intimacy they had forged now felt strained, the connection dangerously close to unraveling at the seams. For days they fell into a rhythm of avoidance, both struggling with the weight of their unsaid words. Zara's heart ached. She longed to reach out but felt shackled by an overwhelming tide of emotions. The clock ticked, weighing heavy with unaddressed tension, both longing to find a way back to each other but clouded with doubts and fear. Zara's heart sank deeper, feeling lost amidst the uncertainty of how to embrace this tangled web of connection without losing sight of herself. As the days turned into silent weeks, the heaviness of what lingered between them felt unmanageable. Without Zara's warmth, Jake felt lost. He missed her laughter, her vibrant energy, and the connection they had built. One evening, fed up with lingering uncertainty, he made a resolute decision. Standing outside her door, he knocked lightly, his heart racing with both fear and hope. Zara, I need to talk to you. After a brief pause, the door opened to reveal the familiar warmth of her emerald gaze, yet the uncertainty flickered like a shadow in her eyes. Jake, she began, but he cut her off. I miss you, he confessed, the genuine yearning evident in his voice. I don't want to lose what we have. Tears welled in Zara's eyes, her heart aching at the sight of his sincerity. I miss you too, she said, her voice breaking. But how do I move past this fear? Let's confront it together, he insisted gently, stepping closer to her. What are you afraid of? You can share it with me. I promise I will listen. Taking a deep breath, Zara focused on his eyes, feeling the surge of resolve awaken within her. I fear that if we cross too far into physicality, I might lose who I am. I'm still grappling with these emotions. Jake stepped closer, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. Intimacy can be a powerful tool for connection, but you don't have to rush. It's more than just a physical act, it's about emotional trust. Zara felt paradoxical emotions wrestle within her. Hope mingling with fear, vulnerability breaking down walls. What if it hurts? She asked, her voice trembling with uncertainty. Every relationship has risks, he acknowledged. But I believe in us. I promise you won't lose yourself with me. We can find a way to blend our worlds without compromising what makes you special. Moved by his compassion, Zara searched her heart, feeling the flicker of hope igniting. Can we take this step by step? Explore without pressure? Absolutely. I would love to explore at your pace, Jake said warmly, relief washing over them as the burden began to lift. The warmth of their connection felt tangible again. They remained close, vulnerability hanging in the air as they spoke about their cultures, their fears, and the complexities that had emerged. With every heartbeat, Zara felt the weight begin to dissolve, knowing they had the power to navigate through the uncertainties together. Let's find ways to connect, perhaps through shared experiences, emotionally and with gradual physicality, Jake suggested, encouraging a smile from Zara. Yes, she replied, renewed with excitement. Let's explore this as a collaborative journey. The air coursed with a new energy as they began to forge a path toward understanding. Two souls intertwining, yet hopeful to embrace both worlds. This moment marked the beginning of a journey toward trust, vulnerability, and unity, woven through the spectrum of their experiences, hearts growing ever closer. Zara and Jake stood hand in hand in the tranquil beauty of the garden, a tapestry of vibrant blooms and lush foliage enveloping them. The calming scent of flowers filled the air, while the golden sun gently illuminated the landscape. Today marked the start of a fresh chapter, a dive into the uncharted territory of their connection. Are you ready? Jake asked, his voice soft, eyes filled with a reassuring resolve. Zara nodded, her heart racing with anticipation. I want to explore the depths of our bond, both emotionally and physically, but at our own pace. With that understanding, Zara focused her energy, shimmering waves of radiant light emanating from her fingertips as she allowed warmth to envelop Jake. Feel this, she whispered, their gazes locked as vibrant colors swirled around them. He gasped as the warmth washed over his skin, the enchanting glow igniting his senses. It's amazing, he said, a smile breaking across his face. Their souls connected as they engaged in the energy dance, a fusion of their worlds. Jake reached out, touching Zara's radiant hand, guiding her closer. Their bodies resonated with shared energy, forging a profound bond that transcended barriers. Then, carefully, Jake leaned in, capturing her lips with gentle intention. Zara felt their connection amplify, the merging of warmth against her essence, fueling the flame of intimacy burgeoning between them. It was electric, tender, filled with trust cultivated over time. As they explored this new dynamic, laughter and exploration filled the air. Their partnership became an enchanting dance of warmth, emotion locked in the beauty of the moment, ever gliding forward without fear. Together they discovered the fusion of their cultures, Zara's radiant energy intertwined with Jake's tender embrace. It transcended the physical, forging connections that resonated within their hearts. In each shared experience, they created a new kind of love, one that was patient, kind, and uniquely theirs. Each heartbeat echoed the rhythm of their shared connection. From laughter to whispered promises, it blended beautifully. As they turned to face the horizon hand in hand, they embraced the unknown wrapped in hope, knowing their journey would encompass understanding, intimacy, and love. A blend of the extraordinary paths they would continue to explore together.